Oops. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see everyone here today. My name's Anyu. For those of you I haven't met before, I'm here today at Edjo's request. Apparently he had surgery on Thursday, and with his own discernment and my encouragement, stay home and rest. So that's why I'm here. So first off, I want to credit June for planting the seed for what I'm going to do today. So I hemmed a dress for her to wear to her granddaughter's wedding next week, and I stopped by to give it to her, and I told her I was doing this talk, and she said, well, how about? And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So it got me to thinking, and one is that the last year and a half have been really hard in terms of, certainly, among many things, socializing, getting to know one another. We used to have a lot more social events here and so on and so on. And, lovely old COVID has put a damper on all of that. And then I'm looking around here and I'm seeing a lot of faces that I don't recognize. So there's a lot of people who've come, I think, although it's hard to recognize people behind the mask. So. And then the second thing is the importance of the Sangha jewel. We don't, at least in my recollection, I might be wrong, but we don't talk about that so often. And I was almost thinking during the sutra opening verse, the unsurpassed, God, now I can't do it without doing it with everybody else. The unsurpassed, complete, and perfect Sangha. Let me just leave it at that. That's probably not exactly how it's phrased, but Sangha is really important. And I came across poking around the internet. It said that the Buddha once said that Kalyana Mitrata, my apologies to anyone who actually knows this language, my mispronunciation, Kalyana Mitrata, spiritual friendship or friendship with what is beautiful, is the whole of the spiritual life. Kalyana Mitrata, friendship with what is beautiful. I'd almost say that was kind of our encounter yesterday, June. I came and, dropped off your dress and we had a chit chat, and then you said, oh, and I'm like, oh, because of this spiritual friendship, we can have that exchange. And I love that. In the Pali Canon's Upada Sutta, there was a conversation between the Buddha and Ananda, in which Ananda enthusiastically declares, "This is half of the holy life, Lord. Admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie." And the Buddha replies, "Don't say that, Ananda, don't say that. Admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie is the whole. It's actually the whole of the holy life. When a monk has admirable people as friends, companions, and comrades, he, she, they, I will say, can be expected to develop and pursue the noble eightfold path." Maybe that little da-da-da-da-da was that's the punchline, right? So, we humans are relational beings. We all need other people to learn from. Sangha are the people with whom we share our spiritual lives. We have the guidance of our teacher, Edjo. We have the guidance of each other as we walk this path. We have the guidance of this temple, this altar, these cushions, this mat, this thing, this lectern, I guess. And the trees outside, the horn, the birds. All of this is Sangha. And Lulu, don't want to forget Lulu. Always wanders in during Zazen. So what I want to do today is, in effect, get to know one another a little bit to help us, better support, encourage, and inspire and mirror each other, to hold a space for each other, to live our lives according to a deeper understanding. That's what we're here for. So I will invite you to share if you like. Share your name, and if you have a pronoun preference, please feel welcome to share that. It's not required. And just a little bit about what brought you here. And I think, I don't know, let's start with people online, because that might be they're sort of the most invisible in a way. And it's completely voluntary. You don't have to share. You just let, oh God, I can't remember your name, Stefan. Togan, I'm sorry. Let Togan know. Let Togan know in some way that you wish to share. And again, just whatever you want, and don't feel compelled to share those things. You know, it always is in these kind of sharing circles. One person starts and everybody follows the same pattern. You don't have to do that. Just whatever. Feel free and feel welcome.
I would like to share. My name is Lori, and I moved to Eugene almost 2 years ago. I had lived in Roseburg for about 3 years, and I lost my Sangha when I left Chicago. And I found it difficult to drive so early from Roseburg on Sunday mornings. And so I didn't, I came up a couple times, but wasn't able to keep up that journey. And I was very excited when I moved to Eugene and thought that I could come to the temple and, gain spiritual community. But I moved here right before the start of COVID. So your talk is very apropos for me, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to hear you and hear others and speak my truth as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Lori. Well, we can circle back around to the online folks. It's not like this is the only opportunity you'll have. How about folks who are outside? If you'd like to share, just step forward and we'll figure out a way to project your voice. Or if, I know it's no one likes to be the one to start, but please. Welcome. Good morning. Mike.
All right. So, hello everybody. My name is Ram. I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. Although before coming here, I was living in South Dakota for 3 years. That's where I went to school, South Dakota School of Mines in Rapid City. The reason I started to come here was because I've been doing yoga and meditation stuff for like almost 7-8 months now, and I got into that because I was dealing with anxiety or whatnot, and then I just needed something to help me. So happily I found meditation, yoga, and everything. I've always been a spiritual person, but never was into yoga and meditation or whatnot. So I got into it, and then it helped me a whole lot. And then I read this book. It's called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer, who has a temple in Florida. And then in that book, he was talking about like how he got into meditation and yoga and like going to temples all the time. And then eventually he started his own temple. And then he talked about the book 3 Pillars of Zen, or if I'm saying it right. I started reading that as well. And then, that's why I wanted to come to a temple, and then when I moved to Eugene, I found this temple, and then thought it was a great opportunity to become a part of this community.
Your name is Ram, you said?
Ram.
Ram, thank you. Welcome.
No problem. Thanks.
sunshine house. And say hi to everybody.
Hi. What's wrong?
Big, loud name.
My name is Maeve.
And why are we here?
I do not know why we are here.
Good answer. I'm Ryan, and I don't know, I guess, all the reasons why we're here. We've been coming here on and off for a couple of years, and for my own part, I feel like this is my spiritual home, and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, Maeve and Ryan. Bye-bye.
Hey, my name is Dan. It's good to see everybody here. I've sort of been doing Zen for like 26, 27 years for a while, and it's just good. I come here and I see all the robes and the bells and the altar, and it's just so familiar, and I love it. And I don't know why. I recently did a retreat online and it was like people from Italy and France and Canada, and it was just such a wonderful retreat. We went through the sutra that I had never experienced. And then I was like, yeah, right, Sangha, and the possibilities, just the limitless possibilities of the Dharma. And I was like, gosh, I got to get out and sit with people because, why waste your life in front of the TV? You forget when you do a retreat, like, oh my gosh, this is what I should be doing all the time. Not that I'm going to go that path this time, but anyway, it's just I'm here because I just absolutely love this experience. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Welcome, Dan.
Hello, my name is Jeff. I just recently moved to Eugene after many years away, but I previously lived here for quite a long time. And I suppose I moved back because Eugene is my spiritual home. I felt that for many years I was alone and lost. I had trouble with addiction, and I found that Eugene was one of the truest, purest communities I'd ever lived in before. I've been a spiritual person for a number of years. Taoism means a lot to me. So this is a little bit of an experiment, but a very enjoyable one. I really enjoy the chanting. I'm a musician and it means a lot. So thank you very much, everyone.
Welcome, Jeff.
My name is Thelma. My Dharma name is Mioan, and I've been here a very long time. Many years ago, when I lived in Berkeley, I bumped into Zen and the Zen philosophy, and it appealed to me at a very deep level. Personally, probably because of its emphasis on paradox and the conundrum just of being a human being. And I practiced with the precursor to Eijo Coming, with Dharma Rain Zen Center, and Getsushin, who was a professor at the university here, that came to a transition point, and Eijo arrived kind of miraculously when he came back from Japan. And so the rest is this kind of process of arriving at this place. And I think it's a very deep practice. And at this point, I can say, the temple has, really now it has so many offerings. There's a lot of new people. That's true, a lot of new people. And we're in a kind of unusual time here with COVID. You know, it's really shifted things around, but I feel that we've managed to stay connected through Zoom and the many offerings, and now this expansion of the outdoors. So thank you everyone for being here. I think Ajo is pretty marvelous, and Sangha is really a jewel.
Thank you so much.
My name is Claire. I use she, her pronouns. I've been practicing for several years, but I've been looking for a new community as I moved to Eugene, because I really love to have a space to connect to myself and to others and to the world. And
Welcome, Claire. Morning.
My name is Dawn. I use she, her, and her pronouns. I'm new to this temple. I moved down to Eugene in January. Lived in Beaverton previously and studied with Domio Burke at Brightway Zen for a long time. Was looking for a new Zen home, and my son Christopher, who is my companion here, had been coming on and off to Buddha Eye, and so we have been coming together for the last few months, and it's been just what we had hoped for in terms of Sangha and community, and the authenticity of the teachings is just incredible. So we're really happy to be here, and thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Welcome, Dawn and Christopher.
Hello, it's nice to see you inside. My name is Linda. I've been coming here for, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so. I started coming here after bumping into Carl at a cafe one day, and we were talking about old times and this and that, and he said that, but towards the end of our conversation, he says, and yet I've never been so happy. I didn't realize a person could be happy like this. And I said to him, Carl, where do you get the Kool-Aid? And then he backed up and he's, oh, no, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. And I said, no, I know that. Where do you get the Kool-Aid? And he said that he had been coming here and had been practicing meditation for 6 or 7 years, and gave me the time and the place, and I've been here ever since. And wow. I can say that I have never been happier. And I believe this is a big part of it. The practice, the Sangha is a very subtle influence on the world. And I hope this for everyone.
Thank you, Linda, and welcome, of course. I said thank you and welcome. I guess we'll circle around to folks on the inside. And we'll, do another round. It's, not your last chance, of course, for any of you outside or online. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Akoda. I use he, him, his pronouns. I ended up moving to Eugene back in December to attend the University of Oregon. As we all know, with COVID, it has not been an easy time. And I found myself quite alone, depressed, a lot of kind of past traumas and stuff coming on to me all at once. And I just had one night that I was just laying on my bedroom floor, very depressed, just not having a good evening. And I had this feeling that I just needed to look up Buddhist temples in Eugene. And the first thing that popped up was Buddha Eye Temple, and ended up coming to the next Sunday service. And I hope to continue coming here every Sunday as long as I reside in Eugene. So, thank you.
Say your name again?
Akoda.
Akoda. Welcome, Akoda. Thank you.
Doesn't have to be just new people.
Hi, I'm Darcy. I've lived in Eugene since 2016, and I've been sort of hopping around to different Buddhist temples, different Buddhist programs. I was coming here for a few years quite regularly, and then I stopped. And then when COVID started, I realized that Buddha Eye was one of the only things still open. I was like, oh, I should start going back. And so I went to Rohatsu back in December, and have been coming pretty regularly. And the Buddhist teachings and sort of meditation and yoga have always been a big part of my life. So I really hope to connect with everybody and get to know everybody here. So.
Is it Darcy?
Darcy?
Darcy. Oh, excuse me, my ears. Welcome, Darcy. Thank you.
My name's Genki. I lived in Los Angeles, and I came up a few times with my wife here to Eugene, and her brother brought me a couple times to the temple. And when we got married, as a gift, we got Ajo as to marry us, which we all know here what Ajo is, and he came down, and and it was fantastic, the wedding, and I had the opportunity to come up to Eugene and move here. I did not know why, but I just did, and this is where I ended up. I didn't know I was going to be here, this is where I ended up, and Sangha today has taught me how to live in life with people. Like, I learned that this temple was the temple I came to learn that, but outside was the temple too. And as I started to communicate and move with the Sangha, the jewel, I started to go out and I started to see people outside as the same. And so with me moving with my Sangha, I move with the world. And it's very, very precious and truly a jewel.
Thank you, Genki, and welcome. Looks like you wanted to go.
My name is Wilcox, pronouns ze, zir, or they. I only moved to Eugene about a year ago and came along this way, and I was very pleased to have, again, feels like a magic moment of like I arrived here and I only live, a few steps down the road. And knowing that I need Sangha, I've been practicing for a long time independently, and I had just joined a Sangha where I was living before I moved to Eugene because I knew I needed the community. And then I came here in such a beautiful community of people, and I have felt very welcomed and a part of what is happening, and I look forward to continuing developing relationships and learning from you all. Thank you.
Welcome, Wilcox.
My name is GK, and I first came here not too long after Ajo got here, and I was sitting and I was looking for a Sangha, and I hadn't found a place where I really felt at home yet, and I knew my friend Ross had started sitting somewhere, and he told me about this place, and it was just the right balance for me to feel at home at that point in my life. And it's kind of amazing to me how we've all grown and changed and stayed a Sangha. And I haven't lived very much in Eugene over the last few years, and so this is mostly, my connection has largely been through Zoom and Skype even before COVID, and it's so lovely to actually get to see everybody's faces and names and be here in person, and I really appreciate this community, so thank you.
Thank you, Chief Lady, and welcome.
For the time being, we're glad you're here. We're so glad you're here.
My name is Martha, and I practiced at the Santa Cruz Zen Center in California for a decade or more, and I first came to Zen through Tassajara Zen Center, and I was a classroom teacher, and I was feeling very, very bitter about all the work and stress, and so that is how I came in, and it has unfolded, and just taking in everything that everybody else has said about what Sangha means, I can say that's true for me as well. So thank you, everyone.
Welcome, Martha. Thank you. Sounds like you wanted to go?
I'm Liz, she, her pronouns. I started coming here a couple of years ago, and then I stopped, and then COVID hit, and I don't do online, I don't do Zoom, it's just my generation, right? That's my excuse. Yeah, I've been practicing at home, but I ran into a friend that also comes here, and oh, you should go back to Buddha Eye. And I knew there was some access to the temple, but I didn't know, and you know, COVID has everything all discombobulated. But my friend said I should come back. I said, oh yes, and Sangha is a great theme, because even though I was practicing at home, and I think my practice is really helping me, it's just not the same without Sangha, without community. And yeah, I feel so good being here today. It's just so good to be back with the Sangha. So I thank everybody else for being here as well.
Thank you. Welcome, Liz. Yes. Lulu didn't take the opportunity to introduce, but you know, if you don't know, that was Lulu the cat who just wandered through. Okay. Anybody else? We can circle back to the online world, or unless you want to talk, Janae, yeah, please.
I'm Janae, and I started coming to Eugene Zendo, which no one talked about. She was already there, Gretchen, of course. And so it's been a long time. And I was just visiting with someone yesterday, and we were reminiscing a little bit about when we first moved in here and sat in a little room that was on the back. It was really hot that summer. The first project was getting the upstairs ready for Ajo and his family to move in. This was about half the size. It was a laundry room and a garage. And a couple of people spent much of it. I don't know how long it took. I think from spring to fall was how long it took before we could sit in here. So we've obviously grown and evolved, and it's wonderful to have new people. And so I obviously have stayed the course here, and will continue. And I don't really know what my life would have been like these last however many years. I can't really imagine it without being here.
Thank you, Janae. Welcome.
I'll go.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Dokyu, and I'm a postulant here. And I came in January to start training. And I've known Ajo for about 8 years, and I practiced with a different Zen teacher before. And I would come to Ajo to get a second opinion on things. And now he's the first opinion, really, aside from my own. Yeah, and I've been to a lot of different Zen places. I've lived in 2 different Buddhist communities, and this is the most special in terms of Sangha. It's really special, and I'm not I'm still pretty new, even though I'm in training, but I've never been anywhere like this before, so we're all very lucky.
Thank you, Dokyu. Welcome.
I'm Carissa.
Yeah.
I started training here when I met Ego, and in 2014, I think, and we were married here, and in this community and this space, it's been such a life-enriching experience, and I've learned so much and met so many beautiful people. So I'm just really glad to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Carissa, and welcome. Please.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and I use she, her pronouns. I stumbled in here, I think, at the beginning of June or so. Wasn't really sure what to expect. I had decided that with all the pain and suffering of life, and that is bound to occur later on in life, I really wanted to figure out how to deal with that and grapple with the human condition. And up until finding Buddhism, every philosophy and strategy just kind of fell short. And so being introduced to Buddhism has been, I don't know, revolutionary in that I have full faith in the wisdom that it offers, and the community is a huge part of that. But anyways, I'm just really happy to be here, so thank you.
Welcome, Sophia. Thank you. Yes, please. Yes.
My name is Aria, and I grew up in Eugene. Moved away when I was 18, moved back right before COVID, and I've been practicing a little bit in the years before that in the Plum Village tradition, Thich Nhat Hanh's tradition, spending some time at Plum Village. So when I moved to Eugene, I thought I would join the Plum Village Sangha here, that I was already familiar with, but I had moved down the block from Budai, and so I was curious. And so I came here one Sunday and did the intro to meditation little class that happens before the service, and it was just Edjo and I. And it was incredibly special. And I just felt like I wanted to hear more from that person. And then I stayed for the service, and I felt the same way, and it just felt really wonderful and homey. So I continued to try to come as I can through COVID. And yeah, I just, in the few years, not very much, but a few years I've practiced Buddhism, I have found that Sangha is kind of the whole thing for me. It is the thing. So yeah, I'm thankful that this is here.
Say your name again.
Arya.
Arya, yeah. Welcome and thank you. Yeah. Masks, yes. We can circle back to the folks online if any of you are wanting to share now.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, my name's Jared. I'm new here. I just started Zooming in a few weeks ago. So even though I've lived a fair part of my life in Japan, I didn't get involved with sitting or Buddhism at all until I moved to Texas a few years ago. And then I moved to Eugene to be with family, and just recently discovered Buddha. I think I'm a little weird for a Buddhist because I regard myself as rational rather than spiritual. So I've kind of been inspired by what a logical approach to this sort of stuff it is. And just recently, I was reading The Authentic Gate by Kobun Yamada, and he talks a lot about Sangha in there, and it sort of struck me a few weeks ago, oh right, you should seek out Sangha. That would be a good thing to do. So now I'm here and hoping this pandemic ends so I can actually join in person. But good to meet you.
Jared, you said your name is?
Yes. Jared.
Yes, welcome, Jared, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Jokai. I started coming to this temple shortly after moving here. And I know it's just always been a really great community, and really glad that I found it. It's been a real anchor for me over the last few years. So anyway, it's been a really great place to study. Thank you.
Thank you, Jokai. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Hi, I'm Anyu. And hi, you can hear me?
Hmm?
So, I've been studying Zen a while, and I tend to get a little isolated. And I spoke with Ejo one time, and he said that you really need Sangha. When you study, you really need Sangha. And I thought, okay, you're right, I need Sangha. But then he said something that really stuck with me and has been profound for me. And he said, Sangha needs you. And as I've been hearing everyone's story, it keeps echoing in my head. Sangha needs all of us, all of you, and it's just beautiful. So thank you, Anya.
Thank you, Amyo, and welcome. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Deborah?
Where are we going? Another online person?
Yeah, I think it was Mario.
Mario? Okay. Okay. Do we have someone coming online, Togan, or a little bit of difficult? Okay, we got some. Okay, perfect. No worries. Yeah.
Deborah?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Mario.
Hi, Mario.
Hi. Anyway, my camera doesn't work, so I don't know why my picture isn't up here. But I came here first in 2008, and I used to, there was a bookstore that I worked in the 70s. We had lots of Buddhist books, lots of Buddhist literature. And when I was, I guess, a kid in the 60s, I flirted with Zen Buddhism and psychoanalysis, and I didn't know what either one of those even meant. But it was I jumped in about that point. And then when I moved to Oregon, I ended up working in a bookstore with lots of Buddhist books. And then there was a long period where I went somewhere else. And then in about 2008, I felt I really need to go to the temple. That's a 5-minute walk from my house. And we just bought a house here in the neighborhood, and I'm really grateful that we did, because I thought, wow, what a great move. It's a great neighborhood, a 5-minute walk to the Zendo, and all these wonderful people. And so I saw it go from the Zendo to the temple, and it's been quite a change. And well, I just wanted to say I'm really glad that I live where I live and that I have access to the temple. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Mario, and welcome. think we have time for a couple of more, either online or outside or inside. Whoever feels moved.
Hello, Anyu.
Okay.
My name's Issei, and turning 50 brought me here. I was had a meditation practice in my life before that, and I'd let it go, and I turned 50 and had this hunger to have meditation and be part of a spiritual community. Very much aware that I most likely had lived half my life already, and what did I want in my life, whatever time I had remaining. So I, in my previous practice, I had read and memorized some Buddhist scripture. It was very meaningful to me, and had a friend who was practicing here and invited me to come. And my intention was to visit here and other Buddhist groups in the area. And the first time I came, I was like, this is my place. And I've been here ever since. I can't remember if I said 2001, or no, 2000, it's been 21 years. Pretty amazing. And Sangha is deeply important to me. It's kind of makes me tearful to talk about it. I mean, to even talk about it, it's just so meaningful in my life. And my life is richer for all the people that I've gotten to know and connected with and worked alongside. And I feel so grateful to have stumbled across this community, to have Ejo as my teacher. I feel blessed for that, and I'm so thankful for everybody here. And I moved in the neighborhood after coming here for 2 years because I wanted to live close and to be able to walk to the temple from my house. So I feel fortunate to be able to do that, and just gratitude.
Thank you, Issei. Welcome.
Yes,
please.
Hi, I'm Russell. My Dharma name is Iso. I've been coming here for a while. Cress and I got married here in 2018. It was a very beautiful experience. I think this is the first Buddhist community that I've been a part of, or Sangha that I've been a part of, where I'm really aware of the fact that this Sangha is going to extend in perpetuity, right? I think the whole community's been very intentional about building a living community, and I think in 200 years from now there will be a Buddha community, and when you consider that perspective, you can then make contact with the Sangha that extends back into history for a very long time. And so, one other thing I'll add is that, you come here and I've heard a lot of comments to this effect that people here are really special and really wonderful, and of course the people here are special and wonderful, and it's the energy of this place, it's the energy of this community that reveals that aspect of everybody who walks in the door. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Iso. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Sky. I moved here to Eugene about a month ago, and I started coming with my friend Sophia. Up until recently, I've lived my life quite isolated. And I started coming here, and it really started bringing a lot of meaning and purpose in my life, and just being here and finding a community of people and feeling like I belong somewhere, it just means really a lot to me.
Thank you, Sky, and welcome.
Thank you to everyone.
You're welcome.
Looks like we might have one more. Come on up.
Anyu?
Yeah.
Reiko's been trying to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't, I'm losing my focus. Okay, so the fellow coming upside and then Reiko. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes.
I'm Nathaniel. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I've been coming here for about a decade now, but very erratically. Yeah, there's so many reasons to be here. And I don't know if y'all heard me, my name is Nathaniel. Yeah, Ajo. And there's really this interesting thing where, just hearing these reflections about all the uniqueness of this community and the various people here actually brings up this question for me about what does that mean for everyone else that is outside these doors. And I think for me, a big part of this last year and a half in particular, but this whole life's journey, is trying to understand what it is that pulls us apart from one another and allows us to put each other in boxes and say that we're on this side, we're the good ones, and they're out there. And just really been feeling that a lot lately. The divisiveness that I think we're all probably pretty tuned into. So I don't actually know that we're any more attuned or enlightened or special in any way than anyone else, but it does feel peaceful. And yeah, I feel like there's something else I'm not quite grasping at this moment. I'm a little tired, but I guess again, Ajo does a beautiful job of helping me come back to this awareness, a humility, I suppose. But yeah, really the mutual arising, the co-arising, it's Buddhism. So that's why I'm here, do my part. We can all see that we're all divine and appreciate one another a little deeper.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Welcome.
Okay, we'll end with Reiko. So thank you. Go ahead, Reiko.
I'm Reiko, and my journey through to here with Sangha, my Sangha was always books. I grew up surrounded by books and had a library in my home and grew up next to the library. And I used to climb up the fire escape in this library and sneak inside the library. And so my journey with Zen was always through books. And then as a new mom, I read a book called Mom Zen by Karen Mason Miller in 2008, 2009. And it was my aha moment that Sangha was actually people and that there were other people practicing out there and I didn't have to do it all by myself. And just craved people. And at the time I was living very landlocked in Montana, and I contacted her as a real person and I said, how do I find a Sangha? How do I find a teacher? And we had some dialogue about that, and I picked up and moved my family to come to Buddha Eye, and I've been here since 2012, and I really hope to be back in person. I struggle every week with this online thing. At the same time, I'm really grateful to have access through this tube. And so I'm just so grateful for each and every one of us, with our beating hearts and living Zen. And then thank you, Anyu, for this story. The story's been living with me for the past few weeks as we lean into fall programming. It's something that I've revisited to, the story of Ananda, and saying that, you know, good spiritual friends are half the spiritual life, and the Buddha saying, no, don't say that. It is everything. And it is this needing one another. It's everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Reiko. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. It's been really turned out way so much better than I'm like, you never know, right? You never know what's going to happen. But so thank you, June, for suggesting it. It was a beautiful suggestion from a good spiritual friend. And so we'll close by chanting the refuges in Pali. Buddha